Sports fans. In this final segment, I'm going to be discussing the surprise sport I had for all of you. And what is that surprise sport, you might ask? College football. This is not something I would typically talk about this time of year. However, I think very recently, especially in the last few weeks, there have been some things worth discussing. First of all, the Big Ten dropping all of its non-conference schedule after the Ivy League did it, and then subsequently the Pac-12 did it. Very significant. I believe it was necessary in order to have a college football season that occur. The rationale behind it being to reduce risk and thus reduce spread of coronavirus. It's a smart decision. However, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the bowl games if we manage to get to those. Because you're not going to have same conference opponents there. And I wonder how that's going to be handled. For sure. But with that having been said, I very much think, as I had stated a while ago, that there will be a college football season. I fully believe there will be an NFL season. Does that mean there will be one without interruption? I don't know. I hope not, because for all the sports we've lost, if all of this starts affecting football, I think that's the last domino to fall, especially with all that Roger Goodell has done to keep things on track and keep things normalized as much as possible. And over the years, I haven't given him a lot of credit for doing much that's good. But with the pandemic, I give him an A++ so far. It's been really something. And not only now is he going to have to negotiate that, but he's going to have to deal with politics. And it's going to be interesting to see how this is handled. And it ought to make, for a lot of reasons, a very and most intriguing NFL season for sure with that. And one might ask, well, what does that have to do with college football? Well, college football is like the minor leagues for the NFL. So if the NFL doesn't play, there's a good bet college football is not going to play. But that having been said, I still would like to hear more about what college football's plan is. It seems to me they're going to go with, at least in the Big Ten, with having no fans in the stands. I don't know that that's going to work too well. The Wolverines have stated, though, that they're financially solvent, so they can afford to take the hit. But the question is, can every Big Ten school afford to take that hit? And aside from, let's say, the Wolverines and the Buckeyes, what about the other schools? Can they take that kind of financial hit? What about a team like the Cornhuskers? I mean, that's football country in Nebraska. Are they going to be able to be okay? I mean, the whole thing's just really, really interesting to me, and there are a lot more questions I have than there are answers out there. But at least things look upbeat and very optimistic that we're going to have a college football season as well as an NFL season. So I am cautiously optimistic about that, but as we get closer to it, I'm becoming more optimistic about it. And that will wrap up the return episode of Sports with Ed. It's good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. And it's good to have all you back as well. And to all the new viewers who tune in. So I thank you. It's been very important. And I will catch up on other sports in future shows. And as things develop, there will be shows about that as well. So yes, suffice to say, I am back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.